types of kids in high school. Now, for those of you who are in high school, you would know of the wide variety of specimen we call students that go to high school. As someone who is currently in my last year of high school myself, let me tell you, these niggas are weird. I can't wait for the day I no longer have to be around these hooligans anymore. Even in the short life I've lived, I still feel like I've met what seems like every type of person out there. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going over and discussing the many different types of students that go to high school. By the way, I do already have a part 1 of this video on the channel if you want to go ahead and check that out. So first we got the hood nigga, or should I say the fake hood nigga. Now, if you're in high school or have been in high school, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The hood nigga is the guy that goes around school throwing up gang signs and sagging to the point his entire ass cheeks are out. You commonly see them walking the halls with wired headphones. They will also swear up and down that they were a part of a gang. But the funniest part is how this dude almost never picks a side. Monday he's a blood, Tuesday he's a crip, and Wednesday he's 4K Trey. Like, damn nigga, are you going through some type of identity crisis or something? These dudes also have some of the worst hygiene out of anyone in the entire school. Every time you walk past them, you get smacked with the odor of weed and a t-shirt that smells like it hadn't been washed in what seems like weeks. And they also have an obsession with wearing ski masks for no reason. It's 105 fucking degrees outside and you out here wearing all black with a fucking shiesty on. But what pissed me off about hood niggas in high school is about 90% of the time, they weren't even from the hood. These dudes would deadass be from the nicest, quietest, safest part of town, where little to no crime goes on. I mean, so little to the point you can leave your front door open at night and nothing would happen type of safe. And they'd really try to sit here and pretend like they had the hardest childhood. My nigga, your mom's a doctor, your dad's a lawyer, and you live in a mansion. You are not from the streets. Yo, you fake ass hood niggas gotta stop it with this capping, bro. Next we got the nerd. This was the guy that was pretty much a tryhard when it came to school. These were the dudes that would probably have a heart attack if they ever got anything less than an A on the test. This was the guy that came to school with way too much school supplies. I'm talking this man would be carrying a whole goddamn science lab in his book bag. Motherfucker walking around with 50 pounds of school supplies on his back. They will always very commonly wear those fat ass goggles they call glasses, and I don't know why, but most school nerds also had really bad lisps. Now granted, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be a nerd in school. At the end of the day, for someone who excels and does really well in school, that's definitely something to be proud of. But the only thing I hated about school nerds is how they never wanted to help a nigga out. I would always try and ask for help on the homework from this one nerd I used to know, and he would always throw me the middle finger. Like, goddamn dog, help a brother out. You know I'm dumb as shit and need some help. Regardless though, shout out to all the nerds out there. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Next we got what I feel is the worst type of kid in high school, the bully. I think everyone can agree with me when I say the school bully is easily the most bitch-made type of kid in school. Now the bully's pretty much the dickhead of the school. This is the guy that dedicates his life to being the most obnoxious and mean person they can possibly be. The bully is the guy that goes around picking on people and just generally being a terrible person for no reason. Just going around and fucking with people that literally are just minding their own fucking business. The bully is the one person in school whose life is so miserable that he has to go and try and ruin other people's days. I mean it when I say the school bully is nothing but a fucking loser. What I hate most about school bullies is how they only fuck with people way smaller than them. They will never dare step to someone who's actually their size or height. They'll just constantly mess with people half their size and genuinely think that makes them a tough guy. But they see a 6 foot 200-pound jock and turn into the biggest bitch in the world. Bullies are really the prime example of someone who tries to compensate for how weak of a person they really are. The most ironic part about a bully is how they always try and shit on other people when they live absolutely trash lives. Like, maybe you should look in the mirror a little bit, buddy, before you try and be an asshole for no reason. Next we got the class clown. Now the class clown is a personal favorite of mine. I mean, if we're being 100% honest, who doesn't love the class clown? Now the class clown was the guy in school that would always have the entire class absolutely dying of laughter. Whenever the class felt dull, dry, and boring as hell, and you feel like doing nothing but taking a nap, the class clown will always come in clutch with some of the funniest jokes known to man. I swear to you, the way they come up with some of the most unheard of jokes was ridiculous to me. The one scary thing about the class clown though was that sometimes they start roasting people, which is basically where they just make fun of someone and clown them for having on a goofy outfit or a bad haircut. Now if you were a spectator on all this, you loved it. I mean, those roast battles would be absolutely hilarious. There's nothing better than spectating a nice old roast session while in the middle of class. Some of my most favorite memories in class were watching people get roasted. But if you were the unlucky soul who you happen to be roasting, you might as well say goodbye. You're guaranteed to become the laughing stock of the class for at least the next hour after that. But the fucked up part is that sometimes the jokes will be so funny that even you would start laughing at them. This man will come at you with a joke so hilarious that even you couldn't help but to laugh. Next we got the athlete. Now I don't think I have to do much explaining on who the athlete is. The athlete is the nigga that either hoops, plays football, plays baseball, or God forbid plays soccer. Now from my experience, you really only have two types of athletes. First you got the bench warmer. This is your average high school athlete who is good enough to make the team but not good enough to actually get any PT. This is the guy that constantly brags about how he's on the team, yet you never actually see him playing. You only see him making that sad puppy dog face as he puts in hard work on the sideline, which never made any sense to me because it's like, why would you brag about being on the team knowing damn well you never actually play in the game? But I will give some bench warmers credit though, because you do have some bench warmers putting in that hard work as a water boy. Then you got the 5-star. This is the nigga that was dead at 6'5" by the time he was a sophomore. The 5-star is the dude that plays like 5 different sports, is built like an NFL linebacker and has D1 offers to every school in the country. You almost never see this man in class, but always see this nigga in the gym lifting weights or doing some type of exercise. All the teachers dick ride this man simply because they think there's a chance of him going pro, which I'm not gonna lie, used to piss me off. Like, how is it possible for this nigga to never do any work, yet he still has an A in this class? Like, get off this nigga dick. Because of how people treated this man like a god, there was a good chance that the 5-star was hella egotistical. But there were some hella good 5-star athletes that were cool as hell as well though. Next we got the quiet kid, aka the school threat. I think we all know that one quiet kid that's just a little bit suspicious. This is the kid that everyone in school has some natural fear towards, and they always for some reason look something like this. Now the quiet kid is usually a kid that doesn't bother anybody and stays to himself for the most part. He's the guy who almost never sees talking to anyone. He usually sits in the back of the class and watches anime on his phone. And I don't know why, but for some reason you get the feeling of danger whenever you're within a 5-foot radius of them. You'll commonly see them wear all black outfits, almost as if they're hiding from someone. Now to be honest, personally I have no problem with quiet kids in school. I mean, at the end of the day, they aren't bothering me, so why would I care? I remember at one point I was actually friends with one of the quiet kids at my school, but I'd still be lying to you if I said I don't have a panic attack anytime he digs in his book bag. Just the unnerving feeling of not knowing what tool he could possibly get from his book bag is terrifying. I mean, for all I know, he could have a bazooka stuffed in his book bag just waiting for someone to piss him off. Next we got the Lightskin. This is what I like to call the school pretty boy, aka the Chad of the school. The Lightskin is the guy that was born with the genetics of a god. This is what I like to call the high school version of Duke Dennis. Now for some reason they always make this awkward ass squinting face, almost as if they're modeling for Vogue or some shit. The Lightskin is the nigga that pretty much has all the bitches in school. This is the guy that almost every single girl in school has a crush on. Hell, there's even a good chance that some of the teachers have a crush on this man. Every time you see them walk down the hallway, they're surrounded by about 10 of the baddest women in school. I know for a fact I couldn't have been the only one that used to hate the light-skinned nigga. Like, why all the bitches on his dick and not mine? It's not fair. I don't care if I come off as a hating ass nigga, bro. This shit makes no sense. Why was this nigga blessed with the looks of a model and I look like a fucking troll? Why does this nigga get to be 6'6" with the most beautiful jawline in the world? This nigga has a different girlfriend for each day of the week, and I've been single for the past 17 years. I gotta put in all this work just to get a girl to talk to me, and all he does is smile a little, and all the women drop to their knees. There's gotta be something that this guy knows that I don't. This man has the cheat code to getting women and needs to be nerfed. There's no reason one man should have that much power. It's just not fucking fair. Next we got the failure. Now the failure is the nigga that we all know probably won't graduate high school. Hell, it's a miracle that he even made it to high school in the first place. These were the niggas that we all knew were gonna be living with their parents until at least the age of 35. Just a complete disappointment to their own family. This is the man that pretty much sleeps the entire class. That's if he even comes to class. The failures were the type of dudes to skip class just to walk around the hallways for an hour straight. They would literally walk laps around the entire school just to kill time so they wouldn't have to go to class. You would so rarely see these niggas in class that sometimes you'd forget you even had a class with these niggas. The only time you'd see this man was at lunch or at the very end of the day when we were all going home. That's it. You just knew this nigga was failing every single class he had. The failure just didn't give one fuck about school. These were also the kids who, not surprisingly, looked way too old to be in high school. Like, you could have sworn this dude was supposed to graduate 5 years ago. Why the hell are you still here? If you're a high school failure watching this video, just know we're praying for you, buddy. But yeah, that's about it. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, that's about it. See ya.